Job title Human. Posted by u/catfish21sm over on r/hfy. One of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. It's become standard protocol now, and the majority of ships have begun hiring humans simply because they are human. It wasn't long ago that the humans were introduced to the Galactic Union. They still aren't that common, making them a very valuable asset. But seriously, some humans train their entire lives just to become a professional human. They just live on a ship that they are contracted with, and their entire job is just being a human. That is it. Nothing more. They don't have to do anything at all. They are just humans. It's not right. Most people train their entire lives for an actual career path. A salesman, an engineer, even sanitary experts. But why is it that humans get jobs and are in such high demand just because they are human? I never understood it. I always swore that if I ever were to get my own ship, I would never hire a human. Just the thought of it disgusted me. They are nothing more than a glorified mascot. Well, that's what I used to think at least. That's when I was still an assistant, training to be a captain someday. Like you, I verbalized my complaints to my captain numerous times. Unlike you though, I was simply shut down without explanation. My captain believed in learning by experience. And so I did. One day, on a routine trading mission, we were ambushed by pirates. The human Midas, as he was named. Job title, Human. He stepped up and took over the conversation, and began negotiating with the pirates. Do you have a human on board for me to negotiate with? No. Why would I ever hire a lazy bum like you humans? Ah, that's too bad. You see, we humans are great at many tasks. We're excellent negotiators, you see? Well then, Mr. Negotiator, let's see what you got. Sure thing. If you give us all of your cargo, then we'll let you leave alive. That's great. We're the ones threatening you. You're just saying what we were planning to say before we say it. Is that all you got? Oh no, you don't seem to understand. And what exactly don't I understand? Well, you see, our shields are triple layered. How long do you think it would take you to get through those? About an hour at most. And our guns are 6th Gen plasma blasters, along with 4 Gen 8 AIR FSGs. How long do you think it would take to penetrate one of your ships? Maybe 20 minutes if you concentrate on a single ship. Great, thanks for the information. So, by doing some simple math, we could take out 5 of your 6 ships before you even get through our shields. That's not even including the emergency attack drones that we keep in stores for situations like this. That is very... Oh yeah, did I mention that we already called the trade union? And they are sending support vessels at this moment? They should be here in less than an hour. I mean, if you do a quick jump out of here, I'm sure you could escape. But after this little threat, we'll have to take at least one of your ships down before we'll let you leave. That's ridiculous. You're right. All of your cargo is probably worth more than one of your ships and crew. Not to mention, it would be difficult to carry all of it. So how about this? You leave us one of your ships, and the cargo on it. We will allow you to evacuate the crew off of it, and let you leave. That way, you get to keep some of your crew at least. Honestly, it's a win-win. We get an extra ship and cargo, and you get to keep some valuable manpower and leave with your lives. Absolutely not. Sir, the trade union indicates their 8 ships have an ETA of 20 minutes. Another crew member stationed at the comms monitor spoke out. "Oh look, that's faster than expected. How long does it take your worm engines to fire up?" "Fine, take your ship and do not follow us. A deal is a deal after all." The pirates quickly left their ship and jumped out of the area. Meanwhile, we prepared some of our extra crew to take over that ship, and we were planning to sell it at the next port. I was going to be temporary captain over that ship. Before I left, I noticed that the trade union ships were late. I was a bit confused, so I turned to the human and asked them, "What was all of that?" "The negotiations, you mean?" "Yeah. How did you get the trade union to agree and send aid so easily and quickly?" "I didn't." "What? What do you mean?" "I lied." "But then... And when did we upgrade our weapons package? We're just a trade ship, not a war vessel." "That was also a lie. I did make sure to make it reasonable so that our current weapons and shielding could bluff them for a few minutes, if it came down to it. But for the most part, everything I said was a lie." But what about Rogeskort?" "Oh, that's Pirate Protocol 3. He taught me 4 pirate protocols when he joined up a few years ago. I have them saved in my prompt. Wait 10 minutes after negotiations begin and read off that script. That's the one if the pirates don't have a human and are not shooting at us." "Wait, you had all of this planned out years ago?" "Yeah, more or less. I mean, I go with the flow, but it's a pretty basic script." "You seemed so confident though." "Yeah, that's why it worked." "Also, why did you ask if they had a human? Would it have been easier to negotiate with another human?" "No, another human would have seen through my lies in a heartbeat." "But you said..." "Another lie, of course. I chose my words carefully so that they wouldn't be easy for them to tell that I was lying. Did you notice what species the captain was?" "Horroclogs?" "Correct. They're a very aggressive species that evolved as pack hunters on a desert world. On their homeworld, methods of deception like camouflage would be difficult to pull off. More complex deceptions like lying would also mess with the group dynamic. Thus, they evolved to be extremely trusting and terrible liars. Because of that, they're easy to deceive. Well, most species that live in a group are. So what if he wasn't easier to deceive? Then I would have chosen my word more carefully and made it sound more realistic. Depending on what species he was, we may have lost some cargo, but even if he was a human, we probably would have gotten away with some small profit." But... Any more questions?" "I'm not sure. So, I hear you're going to be up for promotion soon. If you're interested, I have a good friend. A human, of course. That would be happy to work on a ship of someone as kind and trustworthy as you. Of course, I'm also available, but I would need a nice pay rise to leave here. You would have to negotiate that with the captain. If you want that recommendation, then I recommend you don't." "My friend it is then. Don't worry, I've put a lot of faith in him. They might even be a better negotiator than me. And since they're new, I'm sure they would be willing to negotiate their contract a lot more than I would." "Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go with that then." "Great, I'll give them a call." And that's how we got our native Gloria. I understand your frustration, but when push comes to shove, having a human on board is absolutely necessary. I mean, just look at what that single human did for us on my ship. Not only did we get out alive from the pirates, we even took one of their ships with minimal effort. They basically gave it to us. I'm sure that you'll have a ship of your own someday, and I'm sure you will have a human on that ship. And I am absolutely certain that there will come a day that you realize how invaluable a human is to a ship. Remember always, every ship needs a human.